When talking about scientific subjects, it is best to try to keep up to date. Now, I wanted to talk about scientific literacy, only to find that the book I had on the subject was woefully out of date. So, I promptly went out and bought a new one. I bought The World According to Physics by Jim Al-Khalili. Apologies if I pronounced your name wrong, but with my last name, it happens all the time. Well, this is an accessible book. Believe it or not, yes, it's written in such a way that everyone can understand it. It's a likable author, and he actually has the most charming way of presenting the most up-to-date physics. It was published in 2020, earlier this year. Now, the trouble people have with maintaining scientific literacy lies in the fact that science is a moving target. There's always a question that follows every answer, and why you test this hypothesis or that one, and you develop a theory, and then you try to see how it works with everything else that we already have pretty much established. Are we So you can see it's a moving, definitely. Not only that, but it moves in an odd way, unpredictably, kind of like punctuated equilibrium in paleontology. Okay, so what once was certain becomes increasingly unreliable, so it's time to go looking elsewhere, such as Newton, giving way to Maxwell, giving way to Einstein, and then Anyway, The World According to Physics will tell you about the three big monsters: relativity, quantum dynamics, and thermodynamics, which is an interesting subject in itself because there are no closed systems. I know, people are talking about, the second law of thermodynamics. Well, it doesn't apply to human beings. Actually, it doesn't apply to anything living. Plants require sunlight. If you eat anything, if you ingest anything, you're not a closed system. Even the Earth itself isn't a closed system, because you have the sun beating down on it. Every photon makes it here in 8 minutes flat. Swiftly moving things. But there are further topics are also mentioned, and he does try to keep everything knitted together so you understand what the flow is, what the drama's about, what is the current world state according to physics, which tells you the reason you can't walk through a wall is because your electrons don't like the electrons that are in the wall. So like charges repel, So that's why you don't fall through the chair when you try to sit down on it, because electrons. You can't walk through walls. You have to open the door before you go through. That's why you don't fall through the earth, because the earth is... Of course, neutrinos just go wherever they want. So, why is the Higgs boson so important? He'll tell you. It's why you can't have perpetual motion machines. Thermodynamics says, no. You can't argue with it. And will we ever get a quantum theory of gravity? Hard to say. We're not there yet. In any case, it's a likable book. The man's charming. Very accessible. I think you'll actually enjoy reading it. Imagine that, a physics book you'll enjoy reading. Anyway, so, The World According to Physics by Jim Al-Khalili, a American scientist somewhere in the West, I believe. Santa Barbara, I think. In any case, yes, he's a PhD of physics. Naturally, of course. Why else would you listen to him? He talks about physics. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please do come again.